Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, good morning. It's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. It's Monday, April 4th, 2011. Hope you enjoyed April Fool's Day and some of the pranks that occurred. I know someone in my office put out one that was very funny. If you didn't know him well enough, you might even get pranked by him. But he changed his Facebook status to married, and it had a little heart on it. And I knew he didn't get married, but the number of friends of his who were expressing surprise that he gotten married was hysterical. And I hope you had a good weekend. I know I spent part of mine at a fundraiser. I live in an area where there's going to be fracking coming in. It's that process for gas drilling that is very popular in the United States. And, I'll just simply say to you folks that, whatever your opinion about gas drilling, the process is not a clean one. Gas may burn clean, but the process of extraction really isn't. I'm living in a fairly rural area where there's potential for fracking. It's part of that Marcellus Shale area. The fundraiser I was at previewed a movie that will be released a little bit later this year called Frack the Movie. So far, it's about 45 minutes in length, a documentary, and it's a very tough movie to see, just because it gives you an idea of what the impact is of fracking on the local area. So if you're an urban person, this probably isn't going to affect you, and you probably don't care. But for those of us who don't live in cities, fracking is something that's becoming far more prevalent in the United States. The administration is very much supportive of the process, and it's not a clean process of getting energy out of the ground. So I was at a fundraiser on Saturday evening, spent a good part of the weekend also packing, because we're closing on the sale of our home next week. It's part of a two-stage move that we're doing. We're going to complete the school year near where we are now, and then we're going to head to Asheville, North Carolina in June. So I'll keep you posted on that as things go along. But good morning. And so I want to talk with you about job hunting and offer you a couple of suggestions. So my philosophy is basically the best time to look for a job is when you don't need a job. And according to a statistic I read this week on a career builder site, and it seems remarkably high, but let me just go with it for a second. It said that 85% of all people who are currently working are going to be looking for a job in the next 12 months. 85%. Now, that seems ridiculously high to me, so let's take it to a third of that number. So let's say it's just about 30% of all people are going to be looking for a position over the next 12 months. It's an enormous number of people compounded by all the individuals who are out looking for a job. So things are competitive. And if you're one of those 30% of the workforce that's going to be looking for a position or more, you currently have a job, and I'm sure you don't want to jeopardize it. So what do you wind up doing to put yourself in a position where you can be looking for a job without being all that aggressive? Why do I suggest that? Because, in times past when you might have been looking for a position, what you did is you put your resume on a job board. You opened yourself to a lot of recruiters contacting you. And you probably had to spend hours after work, or get interrupted during your work day with phone calls from recruiters or organizations that want to talk with you. And one of the issues with that is on many job boards, there's no way to hide your identity. By that I mean your name appears on your resume. It's completely visible to your current employer. And I know I've had clients of mine who've gone out and they're looking to hire people as well. And one of the searches that they do is for people at their own firm who have their resume on a job board, because if they're going to be cutting back on staff, those are the first people they're going to hit. So what do you wind up doing these days in order to get found? And obviously social networking is the answer. And LinkedIn and sites like DoStang and using your branch out network are a big source of opportunity for you to do what might be nicknamed as passive job hunting, stealth job hunting, and things along those lines. So what do you wind up doing? The simplest thing is update your profile. Start off by making sure it's completely current, that it's keyword rich, that suggests to people exactly what you do and can do for them. Why is that important? Very simple. Recruiters are aggressively using LinkedIn and Doostang and other social network sites to find people. I'll speak for myself. I'm using job boards and I'm using social networking to find people, and the resumes I'm getting from job boards aren't always terrific. Matter of fact, often they stink, and I get more information from a LinkedIn profile often than I do from a resume, because so often people are sending the same flat information over and over again. But I just want it delivered to me in a simple way where I know exactly what someone's doing. So I encourage you, get out there and update your LinkedIn profile. Allow yourself to be found, because instead of putting your resume on the job boards where people tend to think less of you because they perceive you to be aggressively looking for a job, put yourself in the position to be found, because employers